Hey, good morning.
May I approach?
Of course.
I've got Alex Osegura for an arraignment.
Okay, you mind bringing him up? Did you say asegura or segura? No, I want to, please. Okay.
All right, buckle up. This isn't your average morning docket. We got a DWI case where cologne couldn't cover the cocktails. And trust me when the judge starts with, "You're facing 6 months in jail." You know it's not going to be a casual chat. Let's see how this probable cause unfolds.
All right, let's roll, nerds. Mr. Osegura, come up. Sir.
Good morning, sir.
So you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning. On October 10th, 2024, officer conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's motor vehicle after observing it drive at a high rate of speed, 52 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone. Upon contact with the defendant, the officer observed red, bloodshot, watery eyes, thick, dry speech, and a strong odor of mouthwash and cologne. And despite those smells, the officer could still detect the odor of alcoholic beverage emanating from the defendant's person and vehicle. Standard field sobriety tests were administered. HGN was 6 out of 6, walk and turn was 6 out of 8, and the one leg stand was 3 out of 4. The DIC was red, but the defendant refused to give breath or blood. A search warrant was obtained.
Refusing a breath or blood test. That's a risky move in Texas. It triggers something called implied consent, meaning the cops can go get a warrant, like they did here. Smart defense move. The lawyers are trying to argue confusion, not refusal. Will the judge buy it? You tell me.
Executed.
Can you look to see if there are any priority WIs?
No priority WIs, Your Honor.
Judge, it's my understanding he has no priors whatsoever.
That's correct. No priors.
And Judge, I would just submit to the court. I spoke with my client. He wasn't trying to. I think he was confused when they were asking him for consent. He was trying to ask some clarifying questions, and the cops, my understanding, said, look, we're just going to do a warrant. So I hope that the court doesn't dink him for, hey, you refused or anything like that as far as the conditions.
I mean, I'm going to do the same conditions that we always do, just order you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using any kind of alcohol or illegal drugs, I'll revoke your bond, put you in jail. That's all I'm going to do right now. Do you have a Texas driver license?
Yes, sir.
Do you have liability insurance in your name? You may continue to drive, but just be careful. Like I said, no drugs, no alcohol. They're going to call you to test. You have to go test. If you don't, then a warrant issues. Now you have a lawyer, he'll take care of you. I'll waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you got to stay in touch, and then they'll tell you when you have to come back. If they tell me they can't get a hold of you because you're playing games and you're not answering phone calls, then again, I'll issue a warrant. Do you have any questions? Okay, so really the only thing right now is just no drugs, no alcohol. That's it. All right. Okay, guys, please.
Thank you.
Judge, page 13. Kennedy, come on up.
Morning, Miss Kennedy.
Come on.
Ma'am, you're charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you.
On October 9th, 2024, the officer observed the defendant's vehicle parked at a community center in Harris County, Texas, while on patrol. The officer observed the defendant with an open driver's side door, and through that door dump a pile of tobacco on the ground with a brown hand-rolled cigar in her hand. Upon seeing the defendant dump the cigar and upon seeing the officer, the defendant grabbed her sweatshirt, knocked the cigar onto the ground, and covered the cigar. The officer made contact with the defendant. The officer observed a strong odor of marijuana. The officer told the defendant what he saw and what she had, and the defendant asked the blunt. The defendant retrieved the blunt from under the sweatshirt and handed it to the officer. The officer observed the cigar to contain a green leafy substance recognized to be marijuana from his training and experience. A search of the vehicle was conducted, and the officer found a clear plastic bag containing marijuana in the center console. The weight was 2.3 grams. The defendant was parked approximately 191 feet. The public pool.
Okay, let's go through this again. She just parked somewhere? Is that what you're saying?
She's parked and she opens her door and dumps, it says, a pile of tobacco on the ground.
So that's what drew the
attention of the officer, yes. And then he confronted her about what he saw and then he also saw her with a cigar in her hand and he believed that to be a blunt. And then she asked about it, or he asked her about what he saw. He told her, I saw you dump it. He saw in her hand the cigar. Mm-hmm. And then whenever he said that, she asked the blunt. And then that's what gave him, as well as a strong odor of marijuana, probable cause to search the vehicle.
So him going to the vehicle at that point, he also smells it.
He also smells it, yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Kennedy, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm not putting any conditions on you now. Just be careful. Don't pick up any new cases. Do you have a valid Texas driver license, ma'am? Do you have liability insurance in your name? Are you sure? Okay. How old are you? You're 20. What do you do for a living?
I just graduated college and I work at the airport.
Great. You graduated college? Doing what? Okay. In what?
General arts, kinesiology.
Okay.
Coast event. I was on a scholarship.
So now what are you doing at the airport?
I just do boxes. I work for Amazon Prime warehouse in the airport.
So what are you going to do now?
I'm just working.
That's a good idea. That's what I'm trying to head at.
Oh.
You know, get back into school. Education you get, the better off you are in life. The more money you're going to make. That's what it's about. This life is about money. You have a lot of money, it's a very sweet life. If you ain't got no money, it's not a sweet life, you know? The more schooling you do. You want to apply for an appointed lawyer? Okay. You definitely need a lawyer, 100%. There's a lot of consequences that can come from a case like this, and you're facing 6 months in jail. So you 100% need a lawyer. The two options you have is you can go hire a lawyer, or you can apply for a court-appointed lawyer. What would you like? Deputy, do you mind giving an application? I'm going to have you go to Victoria. We'll have you sign a reset. And then after that, we'll just have you take your seat in juror box while we find your lawyer. Okay?
Next is page 16, Morelli. Come on up.
Very familiar to me. You know how? Maybe not. I represented a Morelli once. Or a Morgan Morelli, actually with the same name. That's why. Okay. Ms. Morelli, you were charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a you're in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, man.
The officer spoke with the complainant, who is the defendant's mother. Also, I apologize. Do you want me to keep going?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem. The officer spoke with the complainant, who is the defendant's mother, and was observed to be bleeding from her mouth and face. The complainant stated the defendant physically attacked her in the defendant's kitchen after a verbal argument about the complainant calling out the defendant for taking drugs. The complainant stated the defendant was beating the living hell out of me. The complainant stated she doesn't know exactly how many times the defendant struck her, that the defendant hit her numerous times with both hands, and that she felt pain. The complainant stated they both had been drinking and had a couple margaritas, but that it was not the reason for the assault. The complainant stated she ran out of the defendant's house and back to her home, which is only a few houses down the street, to call for help. The complainant stated the defendant has a history of assaulting her.
There's a prior assault of a family member. Is that the same complaining witness? Let's see.
It is, Your Honor.
I have something interesting here. There's a joint. You see what was filed? A joint attorney of record. Can you appoint, or can you put two attorney of record? Really? Okay. Second assault of a family member against the same person. Ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case, and I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to do everything in my power to protect every single person of this county, and if that means putting you in jail, I'm going to do it in a heartbeat. Do you understand? I'm sending you now for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system, then you're to come right back. If you fail to come back, or if you fail to take the drug test, I will revoke your bond, and I'm going to tell you now, you will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
As a condition of your bond, I'm forbidding you from having any contact with Diana Morelli whatsoever, not to consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to test you like crazy to make sure that you're not using. I'm also ordering you not to be in possession of weapons as well. I'm ordering you not to have contact with her. Can you find mom, please? Diana Morelli, please. Has a motive been granted in this case? Okay. So, guys, it looks like the CW is here, so
Judge, I have all spoken with CW, and she says that her and her daughter have fixed the situation
It
between.
doesn't, no, it's a second assault. Every time no, it doesn't matter.
Just go confirm with the CW.
Yeah, and well, I'm
Oh,
gonna
you're
bring her
called-
in so that I can talk to her as well. Are you Miss Morelli? Hi, thank you so much for coming. Would you mind coming up, please? I told her that I'm going to do everything in my power to protect every single person of Harris County, no matter who it is, who they are, what is going on, and that I will, and if that means putting them in jail and making it $100,000 bond, I will do it in a heartbeat. I'm entering now what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection that identifies you as a protected individual. Ms. Morelli, you cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person, commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is a stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of where she lives or where she works. Do you understand? This is a second assault alleged against you. The first one was dismissed. However, now I'm forbidding her from having contact with you. I've also forbidden her from consuming alcohol or illegal drugs. And I'm sending her now for a drug test because I want to know what, if anything, is in her system. I'm so much as even contemplating putting a device on her ankle so I know that she's not consuming any alcohol. She has a lot of prior violent behavior, you know,